My intuition is telling me there'll be better days.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to my channel. So what are we going to be learning in today's video? Today's video, I'm going to be talking about the 10 types of relationships that just will not work. Now, I was inspired for this video by a book that inspired another video I just did recently, actually, which was the 6 biggest mistakes we make in the beginning of relationships. So if you're interested in that, I will put a link up here. But so the book is Are You the One for Me by Barbara DeAngelis. Knowing who's right and avoiding who's wrong. So if you would like to learn about the 10 types of relationships that won't work, and how to recognize if you could possibly be in one of these relationships, or maybe one of your friends is in one of these relationships, or maybe you have been in one of these types of relationships in your past. I know I definitely have been in quite a few of them in my past. So yeah, if you're interested and all that good stuff, then keep on watching. And if you do like this video, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave. Alright, so the first type of relationship that will not work is you care more about your partner than your partner cares about you. You know the feeling. You're in love, but you're not sure how he or she feels. You think the two of you could be perfect together, but he doesn't seem to be that excited about the relationship. You can't stop thinking about him when you're apart, but he seems to be just fine without you. What does all of it mean? It means you are in a relationship that is not going to work. In any love affair, there are going to be moments, days, or even longer periods of time when one person is more focused on their feelings for their mate and seem to be more in love. In a good relationship, this polarity will periodically switch back and forth so that both partners take turns pursuing and being pursued. When a relationship is healthy, this emotional dance takes place in a very subtle way. However, a relationship is not healthy when one person is the emotional pursuer most or all of the time. This is a relationship that is out of balance and therefore will not work. So here's how to tell if you're not being loved enough. So these are some warning signs. Number 1, you're usually the one who reaches out first to be affectionate physically, reaching for your partner's hand, offering a hug, kiss, etc. 2, you want to make love and be intimate and loving when you are in bed, but your partner is just into having sex. 3, you go out of your way to be with him or do things for him, but your partner rarely goes out of his way for you. 4, in the beginning of your relationship, you told your family about your partner before he told his family about you. 5, you are the one who makes most of the plans to do things together, restaurant reservations, weekend outings, romantic evenings, and your partner seems to just go along with showing a lot of enthusiasm. 6, you seem much more excited about being in the relationship than your partner, who doesn't show you how much it means to him. 7, on special occasions, your gifts to your partner are well thought out and personal, while his seem last minute and impersonal or non-existent. 8, you initiate most of the contact in the relationship, phone calls, texts, discussions, etc. 9, when you talk about your relationship, your future together, or your feelings for one another, your partner becomes very uncomfortable and unresponsive or changes the subject. 10, you seem to be fitting yourself into your partner's life, habits, and schedule, and he doesn't make efforts to fit into your life or schedule. So here are some reasons why you might be entering into relationships where you are loving more than you are being loved. You could be repeating a childhood pattern. If one or more of your parents didn't give you the love and attention you needed as a child, you probably made an unconscious decision that I have to work hard to get people to love me. By attracting someone who you love more, you are going home and repeating the pattern. Or you could be punishing yourself. If your self-esteem is low, you will attract a partner who will validate your critical opinion of yourself by not loving you enough. Or you could be acting out one of your parents' role with the other. If you watched your mother always pursuing your father, or vice versa, you may have concluded as a child that this is what relationships are like and that it's normal for one person to love the other more. Yeah, I think all 3 of those apply to me. So when you first get in, here's how you can solve it. When you first get into a relationship, don't fall into the trap of making excuses for your partner about why he or she can't love you the way you want to be loved. I have a really good example of this. So I was recently like dating someone. We had gone on one date. We had been talking for a minute, and the first few weeks, he was definitely giving me everything I needed, and he passed my my screening process, and then he would go MIA for a few days, and then would come back and not even give any sort of explanation as to why he would go MIA when he had been consistently communicating with me those weeks prior. And it's just weird. I know I can not respond for a few days if I'm sleeping, but I'd be like, hey, sorry, I was sleeping. I give some sort of explanation, and he wasn't. And I was like, maybe it's just a one-time thing. I gave him another chance, and it's something he kept doing. And I need someone who's going to be consistent. So I could see that he was inconsistent, and I had to end things because I knew he wouldn't be able to give me what I need. And it was really sucked because this guy was the first guy in a really long time that I actually really liked. So it was hard to do that, but I knew that if I continued, it would just, end up me getting hurt even more. Okay. Relationship number 2 that won't work. Your partner cares more about you than you do him. So this is basically the opposite of number 1. Your partner is the one who loves you more than you love him or her. You may try to convince yourself that you feel more strongly than you do. You may deny it to your lover when he asks about your feelings. But deep in your heart, you know you aren't loving your partner as much as he or she loves you. As in type 1, you are in a relationship that is out of balance and will not work. And I've only been in this type of relationship once. And I was dating a doctor who was significantly older than me, and we did not have much in common, but he was in love with me. He told me this over and over, wanted me to live with him, everything. And I tried so hard to make myself like him more than I did, but I just couldn't do it. And I was getting free Botox, he bought me these lavish, gorgeous presents, but I'm just I don't feel the same way about him. I have to tell him, because I'm not going to continue to date someone for those things. That's not the type of person I am, even though it's really nice, because I've never had that before in my life, ever. It was really nice, but I knew it just wouldn't work. I definitely felt claustrophobic. Okay, so there are some reasons why you might attract this type of relationship. You're protecting yourself emotionally. If you've ever been deeply hurt in a relationship by someone you really loved, you might make an unconscious decision that says, I'm never going to get hurt like that again. Then you find partners that don't love that much, so if they decide to leave you, you won't care anyways. You're punishing one of your parents. If you were not loved enough by one or both of your parents, or felt criticized or rejected by them, you might attract a partner into your life whom treats you as your parents treated you. You get to play the unloving one or parent, and your partner gets to play you. Oh my gosh. Or you need to be in control. That's me. Whether you felt loved by your parents or not, if you felt very controlled as a child by one or both of your parents, you might choose to have a relationship with someone who loves you more than you love them, as a way to always feel in control. Relationship number 3. You are in love with your partner's potential. Child. In my 20s, I thought potential was equal to gold. It doesn't matter that he's not working. Look at all this potential he has. I always, oh, this is my Achilles heel. I would fall in love with someone's potential, but I had to learn the hard way that it's up to them to use that potential. I know Fred has been out of work a while, and he really is talented, and I know someone will come along and give him the chance he needs. I know Brad cares about me, it's just that he has a hard time showing his feelings. I think he needs a few more months with me to believe that I really care before he can open up. If these statements sound painfully familiar, you probably already know how it feels to be in love with someone's potential. You aren't in love with who they actually are. You are in love with who they hope, with who you hope they could become. Until several years ago, this was my favorite type of relationship with which to frustrate and hurt myself. I'd find a man who had wonderful potential and then proceed to help him develop that potential, whether he asked me to or not. Yep. These weren't really relationships, they were projects. Yep. Was it any wonder that I didn't respect these men? Was it any wonder that after a while I'd find myself falling out of love with them? I didn't choose partners because we were compatible. I chose them for their investment quality. These kinds of relationships are highly addictive because you get hooked into what you wish would happen, and then it becomes hard to break away. After all, you never know when that miraculous change in your partner will occur. So here are some symptoms that you may be in a relationship where you're in love with someone's potential. You tell yourself that your partner just needs a little more time to get himself and his life together. Tell yourself that no one has ever really loved your partner enough, that only you can love him enough to change him. Oh my God, this freaking statement is right out of the playbook of my life. You feel that everyone else misunderstands and underestimates your partner, and that only you know the real person inside him or her. You make excuses to your family and friends for your partner's problems or the problems in the relationship. You feel you can't give up on your partner because it will just validate his feelings of worthlessness, and then he'll never change. You believe in your partner more than he believes in himself. You know you aren't getting the love you deserve, but you talk yourself out of your pain about it by telling yourself he's trying. So why would you do this to yourself? Why would I do this to myself? Here's several reasons. Oh, this should be good. You need to be in control. That seems like a common theme here. When you are in a relationship to improve your partner, you get to feel superior and feel some control or power of your partner. Even if you don't behave in a controlling way, your thought that your partner isn't enough as he or she is puts you in a controlling position. If you felt very controlled by people or circumstances as a child, you may attract partners as an adult to whom you are virtually saying, you're not quite enough as you are, perhaps with a little work. Or you get to avoid your own life and your own dreams by focusing on what your partner needs to do and how your partner needs to change. Yep, hit it right on the head. When you're busy looking at how someone else could improve, you don't have much time left over to face your own inadequacies. Falling in love with someone's potential can be a highly effective method of procrastination. Oh, that makes so much sense. Or you made a decision as a child that you couldn't get what you wanted. If you felt rejected or unloved as a child, you may have unconsciously decided that you can't get what you want from the people you love. Thus, you unconsciously seek out people who don't give you what you want, who aren't enough as they are, and you get to feel frustrated and deprived all over again. Having a healthy relationship with a person means loving him for who he is now, not loving him in spite of who he is today or in hopes of who he will be tomorrow. Yep. If you fall in love with someone's potential, you'll probably end up feeling angry at them for not becoming who you expected them to be, turned off to them sexually since you're acting like their parent, not their lover. Yep. Bitter that you wasted so much time in the relationship. Yep. Hurt and let down because your dream of how it was supposed to turn out didn't come true. Yep. Relationship number 4. You are on a rescue mission. Do you find yourself feeling sorry for your partner more often than you like? Do you feel responsible for helping your partner get his or her life together? Do you feel afraid that if you left, your partner would fall apart emotionally? if you answered yes to any of these questions, you may be a rescueaholic and not know it. Rescueholics manage to get into relationships with partners whom they feel compelled to help rather than partners with whom they feel compatible. You find someone who seems wounded, fragile, unloved, and feel irresistibly drawn to caring for that person. They feel so grateful and you feel so noble. Before you know it, you're in a relationship that looks more like a rescue mission than a healthy, balanced love affair. So, how to know if you're on a rescue mission? You may be if you are with someone who has serious emotional, physical, or financial problems. Your partner frequently feels confused, overwhelmed, helpless, or victimized, and you console, calm down, and encourage. You often take a parental role with your partner, giving advice, warning him or her about possible problems, feeling frustrated when your advice isn't taken, etc. Or your partner has been mistreated or badly hurt in the past, and you feel obligated to make it up to him or her. Or your partner very rarely acts as a support system or source of strength for you as you do for him or her. Or you feel you have to tiptoe around your partner to avoid upsetting him or her, and consequently you avoid asking for what you want or confronting your partner with things that bother you. Or you tolerate and excuse behavior in your partner that you would never put up from a friend or an employee. Relationship number 5. You look up to your partner as a role model. So this is the young actress who falls in love with her director, the student in a graduate school who falls in love with his professor, the new salesperson who falls in love with the marketing director, the paralegal who falls in love with the well-known trial lawyer. All of these people may be making the same mistake. They are putting their partner on a pedestal. Theirs is not an equal relationship. The balance of power is inequitable before the relationship even starts because of the lofty status their new partner has in their eyes. When you fall in love with someone who is your role model, it is difficult to have a normal relationship. So here is some questions to determine if you've put your partner on a pedestal. You feel he or she is more intelligent than you are. You quote him or her a lot. You don't challenge your partner on his opinions, beliefs, etc. because you just assume that he knows more than you do. You go out of your way to let people know whom you are involved with in order to impress them. You feel there's no way you could ever achieve as much or become as wonderful as your partner. You often do things not because you feel they are right, but because your partner thinks you should. You often say, I am so lucky to be with blank, not just because you love him, but because you feel like it's some sort of fluke that he chose you. Or you would give anything to be more like your partner. So some reasons you might fall in love with role models are you're falling in love with mom or dad. If you never got the kind of attention or love you wanted from one of your parents, you might attract an authority figure for a partner when you grow older to finally get the sense of protection and guidance you missed out on as a child. You are emotionally or spiritually empty. When you have a weak sense of self, you might be attracted to individuals with a particular powerful sense of self and make them your role models. The only way this relationship can work is if you love and admire yourself as much as you love and admire him and your partner is willing to relinquish his role as your mentor. Yes. Okay, relationship number 6 that won't work is you are infatuated with your partner for external reasons. It was his blue eyes. They just pierced my soul and I knew I had to have him. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, there's not much there. I've met many people who have gotten into this type of relationship for a night, a week, even a few months, only just to discover that they were really kidding themselves. They are stuck with someone who they really don't want to be with and are faced with the unpleasant task of breaking this news to their partner. How do you tell someone you were infatuated with them without sounding like an idiot? Okay. If you ever find yourself infatuated with one element of a new partner's personality, ask yourself, if this person didn't have blue eyes, gorgeous hair, great voice, or wasn't a basketball player, flight attendant, rapper, would I still want to be with him or her? Be honest with yourself. It could save you a lot of heartache and disappointment. Okay, relationship number 7 that will not work is you have partial compatibility. Have you ever met someone with whom you didn't have much in common except for one area in which you really connected? This kind of relationship can be deceptive, especially when the way in which you are compatible is so important to you that you mistake what is simply a powerful bond for love. Here are some examples of partial compatibility. You met your partner through a cycling club. You love cycling and are excited at first to share this hobby with your partner who feels the same way. But after 2 months of cycling and sex, you realize you don't have much else in common, and it is causing the relationship to be very rocky. Or you and your partner are thrown together on a project at work. The project requires long hours and teamwork, and you are in the middle of it. In the middle of it, you feel like you're falling in love. Your common bond. So when the project is complete, you begin to feel uncomfortable with one another. Your common bond has been removed, and you are left alone with the fact that outside of work, you don't share any of the same values or beliefs. So you are susceptible to getting involved with this type of relationship when you meet your partner under unusual circumstances that are different from those in your daily routine. You and your partner are thrown together with an activity or focus that is somewhat out of the ordinary. You meet your partner in an unusual environment. You meet your partner during a time when you are both focused on an activity that you don't participate in on a daily or frequent basis. The danger, however, is in becoming so infatuated with that area of partial compatibility that you don't pay attention to the rest of the relationship. This sets you up to get involved with people you normally wouldn't end up with at all, only to feel let down and disappointed when the relationship doesn't work out. Relationship number 8 that will not work. You chose a partner in order to be rebellious. Here's an exercise for you. Make a list of all the qualities your parents or family would want you to find in a mate. Then next to that, make a list of all the qualities in your partner. If the two lists are diametrically opposed, you may be in a relationship as a way of rebelling against your parents, not because you're with the right person. This relationship isn't as common as the others, but it can create tremendous drama in your life. Some people choose partners based not on who is right for them, but who is wrong for their family. This will be especially true if you have a lot of resentment or bitterness towards one or more of your parents, or felt very controlled as a child. You tend to choose the same types of unacceptable partners over and over again. Or you stay in relationships that aren't particularly fulfilling rather than break them off and have your parents point out that they were right all along. But if you have a pattern of choosing partners who not only don't fulfill you but also upset your family, you are probably acting out of rebellion. Relationship number 9 that will not work. You choose a partner as a reaction to your previous partner. I think we've all made this mistake at one time or another. You end a relationship with someone, and for your next partner, you don't just choose someone different, but someone who is the complete opposite of your previous partner. For instance, your ex-husband was boring and predictable. Your new boyfriend is wild and irresponsible. Your ex-boyfriend was unambitious and professionally passive, and your new boyfriend is a workaholic who cares more about money than he does you. Or your ex-girlfriend was needy, clingy, and overly dependent. Your new girlfriend has a hard time opening up and keeps you guessing. This tendency to swing from one extreme to the other is a result of a sort of primitive way in which we communicate with our unconscious mind. It's as if you say to your brain, "Boy, was I miserable with him. He never made any money. He never even worked hard. What a wimp. I never want to go through that again." Your mind, like a faithful servant, takes in that information and reprograms itself. Old choice had no money, no drive, no aggression. New choice must have money, drive, aggression. Reprogramming complete. Then you go out and find yourself wildly attracted to someone who is successful and materialistic, works 12 hours a day, and is highly aggressive. For a while you're in heaven. "My new boyfriend is so wonderful," you brag to your friends. He's everything that my ex wasn't." But one day you'll realize that your new love is too aggressive, too materialistic, and too work addicted, and that you're not happy. The mistake you make is in looking only for those missing qualities rather than making them an important but incomplete part of an entire wish list of characteristics you want in a mate. Number 10. The number 10 relationship that won't work is your partner is unavailable. I've saved this type of relationship for last because in many ways, by definition, it's not a relationship at all. The first requirement you should have for a partner is that for a partner is that he is available. For those of us who don't pretend we don't know what available means, here's a definition. Available, free to be in a relationship with you, not involved with anyone else, not married, not engaged, not going steady, not sleeping with another person, alone, single, all yours. The following are not definitions of available. With someone but promises to leave soon, with someone but he doesn't really love her, with someone but they're not having sex anymore, with someone but he says he's staying just for the kids, with someone but she knows about you and it's alright, with someone and isn't leaving but wants you to stick around anyways, just left someone but might be going back. In other words, stay away from people who are married or in other relationships. I don't care what the circumstances or excuses are, the result will be the same. You're going to get your heart broken. You may be prone to choosing unavailable partners if you felt abandoned by a parent as a child. You repeat this pattern as an adult by finding partners who can't be there for you either. You have low self-esteem. If you came from a very dysfunctional home that left you with little self-esteem, you may feel that you don't deserve to have a mate all to yourself, so you'll take whatever you can get. Or you're afraid of intimacy. Being in a relationship with a partner who is unavailable is a great way to avoid true intimacy. If you were sexually or physically abused as a child and had your boundaries violated, or made a decision when you were young that you would never let anyone get close enough to hurt you again, you may find it convenient to choose partners with whom you can never have a truly committed relationship as an unconscious method of protecting yourself from the pain. When you get involved with someone who is in a relationship with another person, you are accepting that person's leftovers. You deserve better than that. So those are the 10 types of relationships that will not work. Let me know down in the comments below if you have been in any of these relationships. I know I have probably all of them. And I just thought that this was a really interesting topic. Yeah, let me know what your thoughts on it are. And I have more material from this book that I want to do some videos on, but as always, if you have any requests or anything, just let me know in the comments below. You know the drill. Alright guys, I love you. I will see you next time.